Man, there's a lot of noise out here, and I thought the furnace was noisy. What's up, everybody? We're back on the channel here. However, we're outside in my yard because the mask room is full of stuff, like a storage room at the moment. I've got my pool tables stuffed in there, a bunch of tables and glass display cases, because we're supposed to be doing the floor in the rest of the basement. So there was no way I was carrying all that stuff upstairs. It had to just get stuffed in the mask room. So obviously we don't have a bunch of masks out here, do we? We're here to look at one mask in particular that showed up today in the mail. Something arrived in the mail today, and what better setting to show it to you than out in the woods? It's a mask, it's a bust, it's latex rubber. It's an incredible character from one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. Can you guess who it is yet? He's big, he's ugly, he wears a hockey mask even though he doesn't play hockey, I believe. That's right, Jason Voorhees. I just received an amazing bust that I bought from another collector, and do you remember me showing you all of Kevin's amazing Jasons lined up in his basement next to the pinball machines? And I was like, God damn it, Kevin, I'm jealous. I used to have Jasons 12, 14 years ago. Seeing his lined up drove me nuts. I'm like, I need to get some Jasons back in the collection. This happens to be one of my favorite Jasons of all time. It's not part one. It's not a part two Jason. It is part three. Look at that. So I haven't had a good part three Jason in years and years and years. This one popped up on eBay of all places. I kept staring at it for sale. I kept thinking about Kevin's awesome lineup, and I'm like, I gotta pull the trigger and buy this sucker. This amazing part three bust was made by the super talented Louis Fry. He calls it the Higgins Haven bust. I'm gonna take the mask off in a minute. The hockey mask is a Fright Stuff Hawk, and the Fright Stuff hockey mask will come off now. Look at that. How cool is that? That is so awesome. And we're back inside the house, right? Like I was saying, there's all kinds of stuff stashed in the mask room right now. I had to come in here because it was so loud outside. I had a neighbor pull up with a tractor and just started working and cutting trees down in my yard. And so I had to keep talking about this though. This Jason, let's take this Hawk off, all right? So check that thing out, man. So the head, the actual piece, was sculpted by Josh Stevenson, and the finishing work though was done by Louis Fry. He does amazing finishing work. I'm sure a lot of you have seen Louis's paint ups out there. He's been in the game for quite a long time. So he finished this piece. So he painted it. I believe he probably made it a full bust with the, you know, the shirt and everything. And the name of the bust is the Higgins Haven. So It came up available on eBay, and I nabbed it. Like I was saying, Kevin's amazing row of Jasons, just, man, I got I got so jealous. I'm like, look at all this amazing Jasons. Anyway, we're in this crazy corner of the mask room right now. I have to change the light here. It's the wrong, one of my track lights went out. I put a temporary light up here, and it's just terrible. It's not the same lighting. It's too yellow. But there's a lot of cool stuff on this side of this room, I can tell you that. Good masks hiding in these glass cases back here. Hey, what do you want? This is still not finished yet. I'm working on all of this. Once I can free up this darn room, get the floor and the rest of the basement is holding up everything. My whole house is like pretty much upside down because I'm waiting on the floor to get done in the other room. Once that's done, I can bring every pinball game down here. I can set up my pool table I've been hanging on to for the past 7 years in pieces. It's driving me insane. But then I can get this mask room back to normal. And there's so many masks here now. From going out to Frank's, bringing Ira's stuff back here. There's 3 boxes showing up tomorrow from that auction house. That should be real interesting. I'm going to do a video on all of that stuff, and I will tell you guys why in the video. I'm going to explain, you know, what can happen with dealing with these auction houses when it comes to bidding on rubber masks. I had some really lousy experiences in the past with one of these companies out there, and my buddy who turned me on to this last auction just received his pieces from this auction house, and he's not too happy. So we're gonna see how mine are when they arrive. The pictures, I mean, there was great photos of all the masks I bid on, so I don't know how much worse they can be than the photos. They look pretty nice, but you never know. You can't go by these auction houses descriptions at all. But that's a whole nother video. Gosh, what else? Halloween Society. There's 2 more Halloween Society pieces on their way to this house. So that's why I'm not doing anything with those as far as videos yet on the Halloween Society stuff. But there's got to be something else we can showcase in tonight's video besides Jason Voorhees. Let me think for a minute. Hold on. And I'm going back to the Frankenstein in 9 days. That I'm scoring another rare arcade machine on the way. So maybe I should do a whole episode on that road trip like I did going to Wyoming, because it's going to be pretty neat what I'm bringing back. Something really rare. It's not a pinball machine. It's not an arcade game. It's something else. It's a shooter game from 1972, the year I was born. Since we're still down here, there was a mask I had to show you guys in this video tonight that I have been after for a long time. First I'm going to show you the mask, then I'm going to see if you can guess what movie this mask is from. This movie that this mask is from is so awesome. We used to watch it in like the mid 80s. I think in 1985 it came out, and it was like on HBO or something when my brother and I were little kids. In 85 I was 13, 82, yeah, something like that. So this movie, so I'm going to show you the mask. It was a movie where these bad guys all wore these Halloween masks. And one of them was this Santa Claus mask from Caesar. And the movie's called Fortress. And these bad guys go to a school in Australia. I believe it was Australia. and take the kids and the teacher hostage, and they end up in this cave, and there was this underground pool they were swimming under. It was like, the movie is so awesome, and the masks are so tough to acquire, the Fortress movie masks. My friend gifted me this recently, my buddy Dirk. He sent it to me. He sent this to me in a package. It may not look exact at the moment, but the beard is all kind of curled up. If I let the beard down more and stuff this thing properly, it will look a lot more like that picture I'm going to show you now, the bad guy wearing that Santa Claus mask. This is it. This is the freaking mask from that movie. Not the screen-used mask, but this is so hard to find. I cannot believe I finally have a Fortress Santa mask. That is so cool. I'm going to stuff it. I'm going to try to, I don't know if I can foam fill this thing, maybe, but dude, I'm going to try to get the beard to look like the movie mask. Maybe put some fake eyes behind it so it really looks like the bad guy, but this is so cool. This thing's brand new too. It's like a mint store stock copy. Thank you, Dirk. Thanks again for sending me this crazy, hard to find mask. I mean, that is really hard to find. Back to that movie, Fortress. If you've never seen it, check it out. It is a really, really good movie. I haven't seen it in many years, but it's cool. And there's a duck mask. All the bad guys have these different masks, and I remember they just end up in this cave towards the end, and the teacher is really hot. Who plays the teacher? God, what's her name? I'm trying to remember who played the teacher. She's a good-looking... She's from Against All Odds, which is another favorite movie of mine, I believe from '85 as well. James Woods is in it, Against All Odds. That girl in that movie, I think, plays the teacher. She's a good-looking woman in that Fortress film. So check that flick out. That's your 80s movie assignment for this week. Go check out Fortress. Back to Ira's collection. I sent out... So Ira's had a rarer version of Dr. Phibes from Death Studios. The very first version that Jeff Death ever sculpted, and it was in his collection. It was foam filled, but it was all distorted. Like, the neck was really wide, and I don't know who foam filled it, but I pulled all the foam out of it one night, sent it to California, and my buddy foam filled this sucker beautifully for me. And I mean, it's like in perfect shape now. But look at that. I've never even seen one of these in person. The first version, Dr. Phibes by Jeff at Death Studios. I think this could be 1981 when he did this mask. Something like that. Pretty cool, huh? That's something, like I was saying, I've never even seen one. So it was really cool. This was originally going to go to my buddy Gene when I was bringing Ira's collection home. And he changed his mind. He goes, "You want it?" I'm like, heck yeah, I want it, because I've got some great Death Studios masks here. And it's going on the wall here by some other ones. So pretty cool. That's the second Phibes mask I've got. I've got another pretty hard to find one here. As you can see, there's some really good stuff in this glass case here. Rare Death Studios pieces. We're going to get into this crazy thing. We're going to do a whole episode on this little red guy soon. Hold that thought. I finally figured out what this thing is. I was going to put a video out. I didn't know what the heck that was from. And I cracked the code with a little help from the guys in the practical effects group. So you just wait your turn. We're going to have to do a whole episode on that little guy. So we're going to be doing an episode on the masks of Mike Langlois. I was going to be doing it a week ago. And then I was filming. I had a bunch of clips ready. And then this auction popped up. And there were 2 more masks by Mike in there. I won them. So they will be here in the next day or so. And so expect to see a really unique video coming. I'm not going to really get into too much about what it's going to be about, but Mike Langlois has a very, very unique story in the world of Halloween masks, no doubt. It's not a great story. It does not start well, but it ends pretty well. That's all I can say. We'll touch on all that soon and show you a lot of these masks that I brought home of his from Cheyenne, Wyoming. And that's exactly where Mike Langlois was from. So, this will be a quick episode. I had to show you that Jason. And I've got a part 7 Jason somewhere stuffed in here. But he's not made into a bust just yet. So I want to kind of, you know, after seeing Kevin's lineup of Jason Voorhees pieces, oh my God, it's so badass. Every time I go there, I just stare at all of them, and I'm like, I need this in my life. I need Jason's. I only had a few, in all these years, I've only had a handful of Jason masks, like 2 or 3 ever. So seeing that lineup, it's something I would love to do when that basement is done. Maybe just like Kevin's got a lineup of the Jasons, do something similar. So we'll see. I got a lot of room out there. I may do a whole nother mask wall in that tiki room and bar when it's done. I'm actually going to film that room soon because I'm going to do a whole episode on what the heck I'm even doing out there. Show you all the plans for this crazy tiki thing going on out there. It's going to be pretty neat. It's going to be real vintage looking. Like I said, no Jimmy Buffett crap. No stupid tiki shit. It's going to be all authentic, old school, like mid-century, modern type, old tiki vibe. So anyway, enough of that. Look at this crazy mess once again. Hopefully by next week this will all be out of here. And there may be an incredible guest stopping here next week. I sure hope we can get this guy here. He's one of the most famous monster kids of all time. And my fingers are crossed that he's going to make an appearance in this room. More on that. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. And that's it. Good night.